Hi and welcome to my channel. My name's Teresa and I'm the car boot crafter, and I'm coming on with another one in my series of craft along with me videos. So throughout the year, at different points, I'll be doing a short project that's a craft along with me. Basically, I'm sitting this side of the table, I'm inviting you to sit that side, and let's make a project together. So today's project is it's a cute little pocket with a mini album inside, and it's something I love to make as a gift, as a thank you gift when I go to parties or events, or a wedding. Take some photographs, choose which ones you like the best, make this mini album and pocket, and then I send it to whoever has invited me to the event, and as a thank you. And I think it's just a really nice little keepsake for people, and also a really nice way to say thank you to people for inviting me. Anyway, let's crack on. All you'll need for this is a sheet of A4 card, and this is going to be for our photo mat. So whatever colour you choose, bear in mind that it will be for your photo mats. So I'm going to pop that to one side until we need it. And then you'll need a sheet of 12 by 12 paper. So this comes from the Sweet Garden Roses collection, which I think I'm going to see if I can bust this year. So let's pop that over there out the way. And then, so you'll need one sheet of 12 by 12, fairly non-directional, and if possible double-sided as well. It just makes it look a little bit nicer for you. So let's get cracking. Oh, and then all you need on top of that is whatever you're going to decorate it with. But I'm not going to decorate this one because I'm not making it for anyone specific. So I'm going to pop it to one side and keep it for the next celebration that we have. So first thing you're going to do on this is to cut it at 7 inches. So, and if it's non-directional, it doesn't really matter which way you cut it. So pop that out the way. So this piece, which is 5 inches by 12, that's going to be our mini album, and this piece, which is 7 by 12, is going to be our pocket. So I'm going to bring in my hoogie board. Let's move those papers out of the way. I like using the hoogie board because I'm not going to jump out of that channel and into another one unless I go all the way over 1/2 inch. So the first thing to do is make sure that this is dead on 12 inches, which this one is, and then score at 6 inches. Like that. Fold it over and score. And that is the simplest little album that you can make. I'm going to bring in my corner rounders and just clip off those corners on all 4 of those edges, like that. And of course you can bring your inks in and ink it up if you want to. In fact, I'm going to do that, why not, while we're here. So grab your inks and just put a little bit of ink all the way around. Just ages it and makes it look a little bit more I know, just gives it a bit more of a finish. I'm not going to decorate this, as I said, because this is not for a particular occasion, but I just want to have a few on standby so that when we do go, because we know that there's some coming up in the summer this year, so I'm just going to have them on standby so I'm not having to rush back after I've got my photos developed and make them. So, and sometimes there's those that you don't know are about to happen as well, isn't there? So I'm going to do the inside as well. Just really quickly run my ink around those edges just to finish it off. Like that. Yeah, there's going to be quite a lot happening this year, I think. with babies and a wedding and a few significant birthdays coming up as well in 2024. So I will need a few of these, I think. And I think now, I think I'd be in trouble if I didn't do these for family after I've been invited to something. Okay, so that's that done. And we'll put some photo mats on in a bit, but I'll pop that to one side out of the way. And before I carry on, I think I'm going to do the edges on this as well. Just very quickly do this. So this is the side I want to use. This will be the outside of my pocket. So with double-sided papers, of course, you've got the choice of what you want on the outside. So I could have that on the outside and then that's the pocket on the inside if I wanted. But I think I'm going to go with the same album papers as the pocket on this one, because I really do like this paper. I think it's really that sort of candy pink on there. So I've done all the way around the edges, so pop that over there out the way. I'm going to pop it into my scoreboard and I'm going to score at 3 and at 8.5. Like that. I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to do it again just to stretch those fibres. Just makes folding much easier, and I can pop that away now. And all you need to do then is fold up on those edges like that, so you've got a small overlap of about 3/4 of an inch to an inch, I think. Or that might actually be an inch actually. There you go. So before I carry on, I'm going to just ink those folds that I've just made. Like that. Flip it over and do the back as well, just to finish it off. So we're nearly there. Now, the 3-inch that we scored at, so that piece, that's going to be our pocket, and this is going to be flap over. So the next thing I'm going to do is see if I can find my hole punch. So a circle punch. So this is a 1.5-inch circle punch, but use whatever you've got to hand. And I'm just going to punch out a little finger lift there, and I've done that by eye. I don't bother with measuring, but if you prefer, you can measure. And I've just inked that as well. Got my glue. Hopefully this one is open. Got some glue stuck, so let's check. So all I'm going to do is glue up on these 2 edges here, nice and quick. Pocket. If I can get, yeah, there's my glue now. I was a bit worried it was going to clog, even though I can see that it's coming out. So a thin line, it's coming out very slowly. A thin line on the 2 edges. So I'm doing about 1/4 of an inch away from the very edge, going up to the edge. So I don't want to do much more than that, but I do want it to stick. So, and I'm trying desperately to remember to put those back in every time I use my glue. So there we go, that's that, and that's that. And while that's drying, I'm going to corner round up here as well. So on each corner, like that. There we go. That just gives it a nice shape at the front. So, but I do need to put a little bit of ink on those 2 corners. That one's not so bad, but definitely that one. And if you do, you can do the same on the inside. which I think I will. Why not? So I think it gives it a bit of an age look, but also just kind of finishes it off a little bit. And I'm only doing the bits I can see. Obviously I've glued that now. I don't want to disturb that, so I wouldn't want to go down there anyway. So all the way around this bit. And you can decide now, and I don't normally, to be honest with you, I don't normally put a closure on these, because you've got, it just kind of hides, flaps down. But this is quite a thin album. It's not a big, thick, bulky album, so I don't put a closure on. But if you do, you decide now what sort of closure you want, whether you want to put a ribbon through and tie it at the bottom there, or whether you want to put some velcros or magnetic strips on, whatever you want to. So that's our pocket done for me, but obviously if you're going to put closures on it, that's entirely up to you. I would normally decorate that as well, but I'm not going to, because as I say, I'm not sure who it's going to go to just yet. So this then is our mini album, and what I want to do is, I do like to put photo mats on. You don't have to, you can leave it as that if you prefer, and just add your photos, but I'm going to put some photo mats on just because I think it just like lifts it a little bit. So let me find my trimmer, my guillotine, and I found my other bone folder. Right, so now what you need to decide is how big you want them to be. So we know that this is 6 inches by 5 inches. So how big do you want your photo mats to be? And often I will do this after I've printed the photos, just because I then know which part of the photo or how big I want it to be, or if there's anything in the photo I want to trim down a little bit. But what I'll do is I'll do some that are sort of like a regular size. So I'm going to go for 4 by 5 on here. So I'm going to cut this at 4 inches, and that is slightly wonky, so let's just cut that so that it's nice and straight first. There we go. Yeah, that's a bit wonky. I don't know how that's happened. But anyway, so 4 inches by 5 inches. There we go. Let's pop that out of the way. And again, I like to bring in my corner rounder. Only on these ones, I do use the thinner one, just because I want to be able to fit a good size photograph on there. So I'm doing all those edges. And again, I'm just going to bring this in, but I'm not going to put too much on it. I tend to just use whatever is on the brush already, just to finish off those edges a little bit, so you don't get the same amount on as you do with that, but it does give it a little bit of a finish. Okay, next thing I do is I've got this memories stamp. Now if I already had the photos, I might not necessarily put them on there, and I might use, I've got some punches that cut a little diagonal slit there, which you can just slot your photos in. But this time I'm going to use my memory stamp. So I've got some Memento Tuxedo Black. Pop that on there, and then let's just make sure we got it the right way round and fairly central, and press down. This is a magnetic stamp, which you don't get very often anymore. I used to see them quite a lot, and I have a small collection, not a very big one. So this, for example, these are all words, but they're magnetic. So if I pop them on there, you'll see that they won't fall off. and you just need a magnetic one of these, whatever it is, to there we go, and that says memories. So that now will go inside my album. So let's choose which one we want as the front. I think that one will be the front. I'll decorate the front of the album up. I won't actually put anything on there in terms of photo mat, but sometimes I will. Sometimes I'll choose a very small element of a photograph. I did one couple of pre-pandemic. Funny how everything is before or after the pandemic now, isn't it? And pre-pandemic I did one which was a wedding, and there was a lovely photo. I hadn't taken it, another guest had taken it, and it was just of the hands with the rings on, the two, you know, his hand and her hand with the rings on, and it was such a lovely picture that I thought that can go on the front. So I cut away all the other bits, because there was, you know, the rest of the hand and the arms and that, and I cut it right down so it's just that, and that went on the front of the album. So it went on there, and I'd got wedding across the top with a small photograph of the hands joined together with the rings, and that was a really nice front of the album. So like I say, I don't always put something on the front, so I'm going to leave this blank just in case. So I'll pop that in the middle, so I now know that I can have a nice sized photograph on there that measures 5 by 4, yep, on there. Or is that 3? Was that 4? Yes, 5 by 4. Getting my measurements there. So that will go on there, and I can do exactly the same there, but often I'll do 2 small ones. So let's do 2 small ones on this one. So let's move that out the way. So again, I know that that is 6 by 5. So to do my 2 small ones, what size should we go for? What do we think? So I think I'll take it down to 5. 5 by, that's 6 in length, so 2.5 by, yeah, that's long and thin. Or shall I do 2 different sizes? No, I think I'll do 2 that are 2.5. Yeah, 2.5. No, 2 and let's do 2 3/4. That gives me a little bit bigger, doesn't it? By 5. So there's 1. Oh, no, that's not going to work. My maths has gone astray, hasn't it? I'm thinking that way. That should be 5. Is that? Hold on. Let's get my maths right here. Yeah, that's 5. I'm getting it mixed up with the width. So 5. So we'll take that to 4. Right. So 2.5 by 4. No, 2 3/4 by 4. Okay, that's those. Let's make sure that those are going to fit. Yep, so I've got a very small border on either end. I could have taken it slightly longer, couldn't I? But hey ho. As I said, I often do this once I've got the photos in front of me, but because there are so many this year, I wanted to have a few to hand already. Perhaps not all. I have got a couple of things in mind for the events, papers should I say, in mind for the events, that I'm not quite sure just yet. We will have to see, and it depends on, because sometimes people have themes, don't they? So what I would do is probably match my papers to the theme. So I know a friend had a really sort of ritzy party, and another friend had an ABBA inspired one, so that was quite a psychedelic album and pocket that I made. Very sort of 70s looking papers, and even the photo mats, I had some very strange papers that were kind of, you know, very psychedelic. So what I did was I used those as the photo mat, so they clashed really well with the card that I'd used for the pocket and for the album. So yeah, it was that was a really fun one to do, especially once I'd found papers that kind of worked for us. Yeah, ABBA inspired party, that was fun. So there we go, there's another one. Let's do that. Memories, make sure I've got it the right way around and stamp that in. There we go. So, and you can just gift it like this if people, you know, if you wanted. You don't have to fill it with photos. That's not going to work. You don't have to fill it with photos. You can just gift it and let people fill it with their own photos, especially if you hadn't taken many at the event because you were too busy enjoying yourself. So I have done that before, and in fact I did once have a very small charity event I was going to, and I donated I think 5 or 6 of these for them to sell at on the stall, so people could do their own thing. So let's pop that one down there. Let's bring that up a little bit so that it's level. I want to make sure it's level with that. There we go. That's that one. Let's get this one on as well. And then it's up to you to decide whether you want to do one on the back or not. You might want to do a photo mat on the back, just give a little bit more real estate for photographs to go on. It depends. If you are doing it with photos that you've got, it might be that there's more photos than you've got that you really want to use in the album. Oh, that slipped. It's great that wet glue is repositional, but sometimes, you know. There we go. So that's on there. That's on there. So let's put that down. Make sure that's all. And there you go. That's your album. As I said, decorate it up as you wish and pop that in there. What I might do is I might ask if I can borrow back one of the albums I made last year and put it on the front of this this video so that you can see it, you know, when you click on. I don't know how to do any of that fancy stuff, adding stuff later on or anything like that, but yeah, so that's the basics of it. And then it's up to you how you want to decorate it. I would keep things fairly flat on here if you wanted to decorate it, just because of getting it in and out. Although with a bit of, you know, 2 or 3 times, it does stretch the fibres a little bit here, so that you can do it much more easy. And I just think it's a really nice, and I know lots of people have really appreciated it, you know, once it's filled with the photos as well, and decorated up on the front. Really liked it. So there you go. Hopefully I borrowed one from a friend. I know who I might ask actually. I'll borrow it from a friend and put it at the front of the video as the what do they call it? Not JPEG. What do they call it? Oh, yeah, the photo at the beginning of the video. Anyway, I hope you enjoy crafting along with me, and I'll see you in the next video. Enjoy. Take care. Bye for now. Bye.